Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. I am Hasham Ali Khan. Now I am going to start the next problem on capital gain, problem number 5. Already 4 problems I have given in the previous video. If you have watched the earlier videos, definitely you got the command on how to compute the capital gain, LTCG, long-term capital gain. So my suggestion, if you want a complete command on the subject of income tax, watch the first introduction part. Income from salary, income from house property, profits and gains of business and profession, all these videos I have uploaded in the past. So go to the playlist to select the subject income tax 1 assessment year 2021. Watch the earlier videos. Definitely you will enjoy in learning the subject of income tax. So the problems are based completely on the provisions. The provisions already I have explained in the introductory part, theory video. So don't skip the theory video, and if you want the complete command, my suggestion, watch the complete video and keep the rhythm in watching the video. Don't join in between, you cannot be able to understand it properly. So visit the playlist. I have uploaded so many subjects videos. Select your subject, select the topic, watch the video and increase your knowledge. Get a good confidence on your subject. Now I'm going to start the next problem, problem number 5 on capital gain. So before starting the problem, I expect my viewers to have a printout of the problems which I have given in the link under my description. So without problems, you cannot be able to understand it. Now, 5th problem. X acquires a capital asset on 1st April 2002 for rupees 90,000. He converts the capital asset into stock in trade on 1st April 2007 after 5 years. On 1st April 2002, Mr. X purchased some capital asset for 90,000. After 5 years, on 1st April 2007, he has converted that capital asset into stock in trade. The previous introductory part I explained you in detail. Transfer also includes converting capital asset into stock in trade. If a person has purchased a capital asset, later on he has converted that capital asset into stock in trade, that amounts to transfer, just like sale. So whatever difference is there between the fair market value on the date of conversion and the indexed cost of acquisition, that is the capital gain. Actually, it is not sold. It is just converted the capital asset into stock in trade. The conversion amounts to transfer, and whatever gain arising, that amounts to capital gain, and tax is payable on that capital gain. Then fair market value on the date of conversion is 2 lakh. The stock in trade is sold by Mr. X on March 10, 2020, current previous year. Current previous year, he sold the asset for rupees 3,50,000. He has sold, the sale consideration is 3,50,000, and on the date of conversion, its fair market value was 2 lakh. Determine the amount chargeable to profit, indicating separately business income and capital gain. Actually, 2 incomes are there. One business income, one capital gain. Capital gain is the conversion from capital asset to stock in trade, and business income is the sale proceed he has received minus FMV. Sale proceed 3,50,000 and fair market value on the date of conversion is 2 lakh. So 3,50,000 minus 2 lakh, 1,50,000 is the business income. Business income and capital gain is fair market value 2 lakh minus indexed cost of acquisition, will calculate capital gain. Now remember, capital gain is not taxable at the time of conversion. He has converted capital asset into stock in trade in 2007. So in 2007, the capital gain is not taxable. Capital gain is taxable at the time of sale. So this is the problem. Cost inflation index is given 2007-2008 is 129 and 2002-2003 is 105. That's it. This is the problem. The new point in this problem is we have conversion of capital asset into stock in trade. Now see carefully. Problems, computation of LTCG of Mr. X. Mr. X for the assessment year. Mr. X or Mr. B? Mr. X. For the assessment year 2021. Sale consideration. we are treating it as sale consideration. Actually, it is not sale consideration. It is the fair market value on the date of conversion. Fair market value on the date of conversion. So 2 lakh rupees is the FMV on the date of conversion. Transfer expenses are not there, not at all. Then net consideration, indexed cost of acquisition. Now indexed cost of acquisition will take actual cost. What is actual cost? 90,000 into index number of the year in which that conversion takes place. So conversion takes place on 1st April 2007. So 2007-2008 index number is 129 divided by index number of the year of purchase. It was purchased on 1st April 2002. So 2002-2003 index number is 105. So denominator will take the index number of purchase year and numerator will take the index number of the conversion year. So 90,000 into 129 by 105, 1,10,571. This is the indexed cost of acquisition. Subtract, we'll get 89,429. This is the long-term capital gain. Actually, this LTCG arised on the date of conversion, but it is not taxable in the year of conversion. It is taxable in the year of sale. When the asset is sold, the asset is sold during the current year. During the current year. Now, business income chargeable to tax for the assessment year 2021 is 1,50,000. How 1,50,000? Sale proceed is 3,50,000 and the fair market value on the date of conversion is 2 lakh. So 1,50,000 is the business income. It is asking you to calculate how much LTCG and how much business income. This is LTCG, this is business income. Now in working note, you can write some explanation about this problem. The SSC purchased a capital asset on 1/4/2002 for 90,000, but converts it into stock and trade on 1st April 2007. FMV on that date is 2 lakh rupees. That is the new point. Converting the capital asset into stock in trade. This amount to transfer according to the provisions of IT Act. Converting capital asset into stock and trade is transfer. And so the difference between fair market value and the indexed cost of acquisition is the capital gain, which is taxable in the previous year in which the asset is sold. Right? Now, the difference between the sale price 3,50,000 and the FMV on the date of conversion 2 lakh is the business income. Hence, in the previous year 1920, our current previous year is 1920, assessment year is 2021. So current previous year, he is having a business income of 1,50,000 and long-term capital gain of 89,429. That's it. So this is problem number 5. Now problem number 6. Mr. Chari sold his residential house for rupees 26,50,000. So residential house he sold on 10th August 2019 during the current previous year 1920. So during the current previous year he sold for rupees 26,50,000. Cost inflation index 289. Already we know it. Current previous year index number is 289. Then which he purchased on 5/11/1988. He has purchased on 5th November 1988. It means before 1/4/2001. So when an asset is purchased before 1/4/2001, the SSC can choose higher of the following two as the cost of acquisition. Actual cost or FMV on 1/4/2001, whichever is higher will be taken as cost of acquisition. Here he has purchased for 1,02,000. Fair market value on 1/4/2001 is 8 lakh. So SSC can choose higher of these two, 1,02,000 or 8 lakh, whichever is higher. 8 lakh he will choose. If selling expenses are 2%, compute income from capital gain and tax liability if income under other heads is nil. Assuming he does not have any other income except this capital gain, we have to find out the income from capital gain and also tax liability. That is the problem. That's it. CK. Calculation of LTCG of Mr. Chari for the assessment year. Consideration received, sale proceed given in the problem. 26,50,000 is the value at which it is sold. Minus sell transfer expenses. It is given in the problem, transfer expenses are 2% on sales. So 2% on 26,50,000, we'll get 53,000. So subtract 53,000, 25,97,000 is the net consideration. From this we subtract indexed cost of acquisition. He has purchased the asset before 1/4/2001, so he can take higher of the following two, actual cost or FMV. FMV on 1/4/2001 is 8 lakh. 8 lakh into 289 by 100. Current year, previous year index is 289 and the index number on 1/4/2001 is 100. So we'll get 23,12,000 is the indexed cost of acquisition. Subtract, we'll get 2,85,000 long-term capital gain, LTCG, we got it. Now, computation of tax liability. LTCG, long-term capital gain, we got 2,85,000. The basic exemption limit for non-senior citizen is 2,50,000. 2,50,000 is the basic exemption limit. So subtract basic exemption limit, we'll get long-term taxable LTCG is 35,000. Now we calculate the tax. LTCG is taxed at a flat rate of 20%. So 20% we have calculated, 20% of 35,000, 7,000 rupees is the tax on LTCG. Now, the SSC is eligible for tax rebate under section 87A because the total income is below 5 lakh. Already we have covered this point in the earlier income from salary, income from house property, all these problems we have done. If the total income is below 5 lakh, the SSC is eligible for tax rebate under section 87A. So here less tax rebate under section 87A 7,000. So 7,000 minus 7,000 nil. So tax liability is nil. So why I have given 7,000 rupees tax rebate? Here the provision I have explained. Since the total income is below 5 lakhs, so tax rebate under section 87A is allowed to the least of the following two amounts. Actual income tax 7,000 or fixed 12,500, whichever is least will be allowed as tax rebate. So 7,000 rupees is allowed as tax rebate. So tax liability is nil. So this is the end of problem number 6. Come on, now we'll start the next problem. Problem number 7. See carefully. Mr. Vijay Raj purchased gold for rupees 5 lakh on 6th September 1989 and its fair market value on 1/4/2001 is 10 lakh rupees. So actually when an asset is purchased before 1/4/2001, the SSC can choose either the actual cost or FMV, whichever is higher. So he has purchased the gold ornament for 5 lakh in 1989, but the fair market value is 10 lakh. So he will choose 10 lakh. On 16th January 2005, he has ordered to make an ornament of the gold by spending 2 lakh rupees, cost inflation index 113. So actually he has purchased the gold in 1989. But in 2005, he has spent 2 lakh rupees on converting the gold into ornaments. This is improvement, cost of improvement. Then on 14th December 2013, he offered to sell this ornament to a businessman and received 1,50,000 as advance. On the agreed date of sale, the businessman negatived the sale transaction and accordingly the deposit forfeited. This is the first problem in which the SSC has agreed to sell the ornaments to a businessman and received advance money of 1,50,000. But later on the transaction was negatived. That means the buyer was unable to purchase the gold ornament, so 1,50,000 is forfeited by the SSC. It's an income. The SSC has received 1,50,000 as an advance and later on it is forfeited. The Income Tax Act says if advance is received and forfeited before 1/4/2014, 1st April 2014, if the advance received and forfeited before 1/4/2014, it will be deducted from the cost of acquisition. It will be deducted from the cost of acquisition. If the amount is received and forfeited after 1/4/2014, it will be taxable under income from other sources. All these provisions I have explained in the introduction part of this capital gain. So date we have to see. The advance money received and forfeited, we have to see the date. If it is before 1/4/2014, the advance received and forfeited will be deducted from the cost of acquisition. If the advance is received and forfeited after 1/4/2014, it is taxable under income from other sources. In our problem, it is received and forfeited in 2013. December 2013. So it is before 1/4/2014. So this 1,50,000 will be deducted from the cost of acquisition. During the previous year 2019-20, the ornament is sold for rupees 25,25,000 and selling expenses 25,000. So current year 2019-20, current previous year, the ornament was sold away. Ultimately 25,25,000 is the consideration received and selling expenses are 25,000. Calculate capital gain and tax liability. If the age of the SSC on the date of sale is 82 years, that means super senior citizen, 80 above, over 80 years of age, the SSC is called super senior citizen and the basic exemption limit is 5 lakh rupees. And the income under other heads are 2,25,000. Apart from this long-term capital gain, he is having income under other heads 2,25,000. That's all. So I have explained the main contents of the problem. Now see the solution carefully. Computation of LTCG of Mr. Vijay Raj for the assessment year. Consideration received 25,25,000. This is the consideration, sale price, minus selling expenses 25,000. So 25 lakh is the net consideration. From this we deduct indexed cost of acquisition and indexed cost of improvement. First of all, indexed cost of acquisition. The SSC has purchased the gold before 1/4/2001. Before 1/4/2001. So the SSC can choose higher of the following: actual cost or FMV. So FMV 10 lakh rupees he will choose. So 10 lakh rupees he will choose. But just now I told you advance money was received and forfeited before 1/4/2014. So it will be deducted from cost of acquisition. So 10 lakh minus 1,50,000, 8,50,000. To 8,50,000 we indexed it. So 289 by 100, it will become 24,56,500. Indexed cost of improvement. He has spent 2 lakh rupees on converting the gold into ornaments. So we'll calculate the indexed cost of improvement. 2 lakh into 289 divided by 113. At the time of spending the 2 lakh rupees, the index number was 113. Divided by 113. So take the total 29,68,004. Now subtract 25 lakh minus 29,68,004. That means there is a loss. There is a long-term capital loss. Negative figure we are getting. 25 lakh minus 29 lakh. You are getting negative figure minus 4,68,004. So it's a long-term capital loss. Now the provision for income tax is long-term capital loss cannot be set off from any other income. This long-term capital loss should be carried forward to the next year. It can be set off only from long-term capital gain. No other income this loss can be set off. That you have to write in note. In income under other heads is 2,25,000. The SSC is a super senior citizen since his age is 82 years. So the basic exemption limit is 5 lakh. For super senior citizen, basic exemption 5 lakh. As the total income is below the basic exemption limit, so the tax liability is nil. It is asking you to calculate tax liability. The tax liability of this SSC is nil because the total income is below the basic exemption limit of rupees 5 lakh. No tax. The long-term capital loss can be set off only from long-term capital gain. It can be carried forward to the next year. Current year, if they are having no other long-term capital gain, it can be set off. Otherwise, this long-term capital loss can be carried forward to the next year. And in the next year, from long-term capital gain, this loss can be set off. The advance on sale agreement is received and forfeited before 1/4/2014. 1st April 2014 se pehle advance received and forfeited. So this amount will be deducted from the cost of acquisition. advance received and forfeited shall be deducted from the cost of acquisition. That's it. This is the end of problem number 7. Now I am going to read out 8th problem. Sri Sadhu Ram is holding the following assets in his business for the last 23 years. He sold all the assets during the previous year. Calculate capital gain and tax liability if income from house property is 84,000. Assessing Mr. Sadhu Ram is holding the business assets for the last 23 years, and he sold all the assets during the current previous year. We have to compute the tax liability if income under other heads, house property, is 84,000. What are the particulars? Building, machinery, furniture, land. These are the 4 assets. Book values are given, selling price is given, selling expenses are given. Cost inflation index for all the assets in the year of purchase was 100. Now, remember one point. I have explained you in detail in the introduction part. If depreciable assets are sold, which are used in the business, the gain arising will be short-term capital gain irrespective of the period of holding. कितने भी साल hold कर लो, it will be a short-term capital gain. It will be a short-term because it's a business assets, depreciable business assets. Now we'll see which are the depreciable business assets. Building, machinery, furniture. Building, machinery, furniture. These 3 are depreciable assets. Land is not a depreciable asset according to income tax provisions. No depreciation is allowed on land. Depreciation is allowed on building. So out of the 4 assets given, first 3 assets, building, machinery, furniture, are depreciable. So the gain arising on the first 3 assets are short-term capital gain. And the gain arising on land will be the long-term capital gain because it is a non-depreciable asset. Right? Now, computation of short-term capital gain of Sri Sadhu Ram for the assessment year 2021. So I have opened the columns for building, machinery, furniture because these 3 are short-term. Because these 3 are depreciable assets which are used in the business. Now consideration received, sale price. I have taken the sale price of all the 3 assets minus selling expenses. Selling expenses are given 2% for building, 8% for machinery, 15% for furniture. So I have calculated 2% of 35 lakh 70,000, 8% of 10 lakh 90,000, 87,200, 15% of 30,000 for 4,500. Deduct net consideration we got. From net consideration we deduct book value of the asset, the written down value of the asset. Book value of the asset are given. Now we deduct 34 lakh 30,000 minus 23 lakh 15,000. So 11 lakh 15,000 is the short-term capital gain on sale of building. Similarly, 10 lakh 2,800 minus 11 lakh 5,000. There is minus 1 lakh 2,200. It's a capital loss. So there is a short-term capital loss in case of machinery. Furniture, 25,500 minus 22,000. 3,500 is the short-term capital gain. So out of the 3 assets, 2 assets we have short-term capital gain, 1 asset we have short-term capital loss. The short-term capital loss is in machinery and these 2 gain. Now computation of long-term capital gain on sale of land. Land is a non-depreciable asset. So gain arising will be long-term capital gain. Consideration received is given in the problem 8,51,000 minus transfer expenses 1%. Calculate, deduct net consideration. Less indexed cost of acquisition. So what is the book value of the land? 1,20,000 into 289 by 100. 289 current previous year index. 100 we have taken because the asset was purchased 23 years ago. That means before 1/4/2001. Our index numbers are there from 1/4/2001. So the asset was purchased before 1/4/2001. So we have taken 100. So it will be 3,46,800. Deduct it 4,95,690. This is the LTCG, long-term capital gain on the sale of land. We have completed short-term capital gain and long-term capital gain. Now we can set off the loss. Short-term capital gain on building is 11,15,000. Short-term capital gain on furniture 3,500. Add up both short-term capital gain. From this, deduct short-term capital loss on sale of machinery. On sale of machinery, 1,02,000 short-term capital loss. Deduct. Set off. Then ultimately short-term capital gain will be 10,16,300. 10,16,300 is the net short-term capital gain. And long-term capital gain, this one. Now we compute the tax liability. Long-term capital gain is taxed at a flat rate of 20%, whereas short-term capital gain is included along with other incomes, and we calculate slab system. Slab system will apply on short-term capital gain. So here computation of tax liability. Income from house property 84,000 given in the problem. Short-term capital gain 10,16,300, we got it, 10,16,300. Add up both 11,300. 11,300 is called the normal income on which slab system will apply. Normal income on which slab system will apply. So slabs are, first slab up to 2,50,000. Up to 2,50,000 income is 2,50,000 nil, rate nil, tax nil, basic exemption limit. Now second slab 2,50,000 1 to 5 lakh. 2,50,000 1 rupee to 5 lakh. The total income will be 2,50,000 on which 5%, 12,500. Second slab over. Third slab 5 lakh 1 to 10 lakh rupees. 5 lakh 1 to 10 lakh rupees. Income is 5 lakh. The rate of tax is 20%. So if you 20% of 5 lakh, 1 lakh. Now balance over 10 lakh. Our total income is 11,300. Total normal income is 11,300. 11,300 minus 10 lakh. First 250, next 250, next 5 lakh. So total 10 lakh rupees you deduct. So 11,300 minus 10 lakh, you will get 1,300. Balance 1,300 on which 30% is the rate, 30,090. Take the total 1,42,590 is the tax on normal income. This is the tax on normal income. To this we add tax on LTCG. Long-term capital gain is taxed at a flat rate of 20%. So LTCG 4,95,690 into 20%. 99,138. Add up, we'll get 2,41,728. To this you add health and education cess 4% as usual. So 4% you add up, we'll get 2,51,397. 2,51,397. We can round it off to the next 10 rupees, that is 2,51,400. This is the tax liability. Already this type of calculation of tax liability I have done in the earlier problems, introduction part, Introduction to Income Tax Act, the starting videos. I have done so many problems on computing the tax liability. So if you have not watched that, go to the playlist, select the income tax one for assessment year 2021, introduction. See the videos on introduction, you will get the complete command on how to compute the tax liability. That's all. So we have completed 8 problems so far. I have explained all these problems in detail. Watch till the end again and again. Definitely you can get a lot of command on the provisions of Income Tax Act. So if you think that these lectures are very beneficial to you, give a like to the video. Share it in your group, in your friend circle, so that more students, more people can watch these videos and increase their knowledge. Give your comment on these lectures, and lastly, don't forget to subscribe my channel if you have not yet subscribed. We'll continue the next problem in the next video.